Today I'm thrilled to introduce Catherine Russo to you. Catherine was my first marketing employee at my business, My Christmas, which I sold last year. And she joined me in 2019 to work on our socials and our in-person events and promotion for the business. And she worked with me until I sold the business, as I said, last year. And we are still great friends. And she has continued to work in the social media space. And Catherine has her ear out to exactly what's going on in that space. She has a page that she manages for someone else as well. And so she really gets how difficult it can be in social media space. Everything doesn't go viral all the time. We have wins and sometimes things don't go as well as we hope they would. But it's still important to understand what the core objectives are of your social media and how you go about your social media to build your business. Because some of those metrics that we look at are really just vanity only. What we want is people in our store or on our website buying our products. And social media can certainly help you with that. So I hope you enjoy our chat about all things social. Hello, everyone, but especially hello, Catherine. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I don't know why it's taken me so long to have you on here because you and I worked together for 5 years and have spoken socials that entire time, plus many
Yeah,
other topics. But it's
yes.
always been something we have shared a passion for and loved watching and tweaking with the old business, My Christmas. So, Catherine, can you tell us a bit about how you developed a passion for socials and a bit of your story of your sort of social media journey?
So I worked in design and the architecture field for majority of my life, and I found myself working in a sort of a light marketing role. I don't have a marketing degree, but I've worked with some amazing marketing brand teams, um, and got a lot of inspiration from there. And I found myself sort of in charge of sales and marketing, maybe for uh, luxury products that go into interior design projects, for example. And really, in that peak time of Instagram, do you remember when Instagram was just, it flew all the time and it was just this really cool community? You didn't worry about analytics, there was no stress. I'm very grateful to have enjoyed that time of Instagram. And I really did, and I taught myself. I learned the very basics of what times of the day to post and how to interact and how to use hashtags, and so it evolved, and I ended up doing extremely well with it by surprise with a company I was with, where their clients would come into their showroom and say, "Oh, I want to look at the whatever I've titled the post." That I saw on Instagram, and we worked out it was 97% of the customers in the shop front came from the Instagram posts. So, wow, and it really started to fly. So, of course, I delved in more, very much self taught. So, I learned as much as I possibly could. Then I actually had a spinal cord injury and became paralyzed. So my life completely changed from a career perspective. And, I couldn't walk around with heavy marble samples to clients. It just was impossible. And that was 8 years ago. And after a year, I really wanted to get back doing something creative. I needed to do something in the creative field. And one of my friends says, "Why don't you do social media?" And I really questioned myself. I said, "I can't do that. I don't have a marketing degree." And he said, "Well, nor do all the other 25-year-olds who are doing it as well." And the way it came out, I went, "Okay, you're right." So, we question ourselves a lot, especially as we're about to post. We all do it. So, little soul searching, and I slowly started. And then the interior design clients of the company I was working for, they reached out to me and said, "I hear you're not there anymore. I'm sorry, what's happened to you? would you be interested in doing my socials? And I said, no, no, I'm not really in the space. My friend encouraged me to just do it, just, do it, see what happens. And it went crazy. So that's 7 years now, just the 7-year anniversary of social mediaing and doing a bit of branding, a little refresh. Some clients come for a bit of a refresh. Some clients come to teach their team what's new, give them a bit of an update, how to use the phone, how to post, how to do graphics, and what they might do a refresh. There's other clients that are continued clients in that same field. I do generally food and bev and interior design because that's my two passions. So it's very easy for me to make up a recipe in my head and create a post about it, or same thing for the interior space. So here I am. And I was lucky. Can I just say I was so lucky? You advertised at my Christmas 5 years ago for a marketing assistant. And again, the same thing. I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I love Christmas and it's kind of interiors, and I'll see if I can do a bit of both. And yeah, here we are today. You're an amazing mentor. I've learned so much from you. We're great friends. It's a win-win. Great
Absolutely.
experience.
We've both learned from each other, and it has been a
Mm,
great partnership. I want to go back to what you said because I think everyone needs to hear it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you have a marketing degree. I know my
no,
son's just finished a marketing degree. I'm not sure on a practical basic level they've done much on the socials, and the stuff that I do in
no,
my business isn't necessarily covered. So we all learn on the job, we all learn on the fly, we all fake it till we make it. And
totally.
so we just have to kind of get in there and continue to learn. And what I love and what you're going to share with us today is that you're constantly looking to find the answers to what is going
Always.
on in that space.
That's right. And as everyone knows, that space changes constantly. And we all roll our eyes, and it's like, oh my gosh, again, it's changed. I've got to jump onto YouTube, find out what's going on, ask the peeps. Yeah, most definitely.
And so there are some businesses still who would say, I mean, of course, a lot of people don't have time, but don't really think it's worth the effort. Pros and
Mm.
cons of social media. What is your kind of gut feel? Is it worth independent retailers having it as a priority?
There's only pros, there's no cons. The con is you don't get business. So that it's just not an option at all. um, your clients, all of your customers, or the people they know and talk to, because not just that direct customer, it's their community as well. Hey, have you seen this? Or they've got a sale or whatever. They are all on social media, and they're all sitting and watching TV at night with their family, scrolling on the ad break. That is key time to sit and do a post. While they're doing that, you can be, if you do have that time and you're not doing paperwork at the end of the day, as a business owner, yeah, ideally, you can sit there, and you don't have to do it every day, but you can sit there and go, okay, I took this video, I'm just going to post it, whatever. You have to do it. And I've just explained, we all experience that dreaded fear of what will people think. It's not perfect. No, the beauty is perfect is out, and perfect is not on trend with social media anymore. So it's the ideal time to deep dive and just do it. And you can do it quickly. We have great tips because you and I have had many a conversation in the years about, don't worry about that, just press record, just do it, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Right?
And sorry, I do swear,
Mm.
but it really is a matter of just saying, fuck it, do it.
Yeah,
Because
just do
I
it.
know I do it myself. I particularly do it with LinkedIn, where I'm putting a post up and I feel very intimidated
Mm.
that I'm speaking to other people in the business or in the industry and thinking, oh my God, what's my grammar like and so forth. But
Yes,
I've just
yes.
learnt maybe that's part of the freedom of mid 50s going, stuff it, I'm just going to push the button and it is what it is. And
Definitely.
really, no one's reading it anyway. Or if they are, they're forgiving me my mistakes.
Yeah, and that's it. And it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. If it's really something terrible is there, you can just take it down. And the thing I always put in my mind is no one knows what I was going to do. No one knows what it was in my head. So It's okay. They don't know whatever it was I was going to say and I forgot. Or yeah, you just have to do it. Yeah, true. That's how I get myself through. That came from the wedding cake time. No one knows what it was going to look like. It doesn't matter if that didn't get on there. It actually came from there.
Um, all right, we're going to mainly talk about Instagram today, but I just wondered
Mm,
if you had any thoughts on sort of across the socials. You know, we've obviously got Instagram,
yeah,
TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest are sort of your main social platforms.
correct.
The current state of play across those spaces, you know, what's your thought? Should people be on all of them? Should people be on one or two? Where do you think?
I think it very much depends on your business. If you've got a product to sell versus if you've got a service to sell. It can vary. So let me use a real estate agent just as an example, if I can. So a real estate agent's got a product to sell, but they've also got a service to sell, and they very much have to sell themselves because to buy the house, people have got to connect with that person. So that very much LinkedIn is that would be an essential because that's all about networking that particular um, business model as such. Um, I find you've got different types of demographics generally in each of the socials. So you have to really understand, you have to do the work to actually understand your customer and who they are. That's where you come in, Nicole, with all of that experience to be able to help people identify that. So, very much professional level businesses um, would LinkedIn is essential. Instagram is for, younger to middle aged. It's very visual. You can have a bit of fun. Um, Facebook is more a older demographic or a more conservative demographic. So it's a different type of conversation that's had, which is why that is more Facebook's more prone to chit chat conversation. Can I ask this question? Whereas Instagram is all, oh, I love this, and fire emojis, and it's a different conversation. And what's crazy, we all do it, is we sit and have the same conversation on the same post on both of those platforms, but we do tend to do it slightly differently because it suits that platform. And then TikTok is it's a younger demographic, and I would say up to 50. And it's a fast pace, it's fun, it's like not even a 3 second scroll anymore, it's like a 1.5 second scroll. It's crazy. So that's a different type of content. You'd use the same content that you teach, but you would break up a 2 to 3 second um, snippet of it, and that's all you put up there with some fun stuff. So you can use the same content across, but it's you want to be very firm on your messaging with each of them. That's what I think. Or can I just say, if you don't have time for that, do one post in a portrait mode across them all. You're better off to post than not to post.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I totally agree with you there. And it's interesting, going back to the business, we had Facebook. We had a good audience at the time, I think
Mm,
33,000 followers on
yeah.
Facebook. Instagram had gone off and there'd be 110,000 probably at the
Oh,
same time on
crazy.
Instagram. But Facebook was the place that sales came from. As you say,
Correct.
Facebook's a bit slower. If your demographic is into Facebook, they're there for more, I think, more information. Whereas Instagram, as you say, and TikTok, scroll, 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 stop, scroll,
Yeah.
scroll, very,
Yeah.
very fast paced. And I think that's maybe why sometimes even if your numbers are lower in Facebook, you can get some more traction, even if it
Oh,
doesn't look with the
definitely.
likes and stuff. They're kind of, and maybe it's also that demographic is maybe not as likely to like and comment, maybe sit back more, but they're
Yes.
taking it in.
Yeah. And you can also put the links in your conversation to
Mm,
people. So for my Christmas business, that constant, like the sales were great when the conversation happened. And where do I find this? Here's the link. And it's that one step closer to, there's one more interaction with the customer that you're not having on the others as much. So
yeah. Okay.
mm,
Um, as I said today, because we mainly on Instagram, I wanted to find out and really sort of deep dive into what's going on in Instagram. And there's always changes to algorithms. We know things are changing all the time. We don't want to get down into, we're not trying to pretend that there's this magic formula that's going to make everything go viral, because it's bollocks. It
No,
doesn't
no,
happen that way.
no.
You might be lucky. Yes, it's worth following some of these suggestions and rules, but you also have to just keep doing the work, and it depends on your market and depends on what you're selling, whether you're going to
Correct.
get that virality of the post.
Correct. And yes, as you and I experienced, the posts that took the least effort and were just kind of slapped together, but with there was a not that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Slapping together, but there was still a formula that was always used. Um, were the ones, the most unexpected were often the ones that went viral, and we would do all of the things by the book to go viral, and they didn't. So that's why you've just got to post. You've just got to press play, and you've just got to press post, because you actually don't know. So yes, this is a great time for us to chat, actually, Nicole, because there are so much has changed, especially with Instagram. Um, I think I'll think of a couple of key things for people to know. So, for starters, the type of post. No more square posts are being focused as a square post. So that's yesterday. So you want to think pretty much all of your clients are going to be scrolling on their phone, which is, a nice long screen. So as they scroll, you don't want them to see this little thing and words. You want to get them to scroll as much of that image. So either a reel or the portrait size post, all of your posts. And you can make one graphic, one image, one video. You can use that and post it everywhere. So that's really important. Another really important one I want to stress is hashtags don't work anymore. And Instagram have come out and said that about 3-4 weeks ago. Now, hashtags only work if you've got an event, or there's a very, my Christmas by whatever, there's a specific branding collaboration, you know, and people are searching for that will work, because now it's all about keywords. And I think this is probably the one thing of all the changes I want to stress the most is understanding what keywords are, which is, SEO, search engine optimization, which just means that word, maybe that used to be in your hashtags, shop local or high fashion, whatever your hashtag is that you've used, use that in your conversation. And feel free to ask AI. Don't be afraid to ask AI. But maybe this is a whole other conversation we need to have on how you ask AI, so it doesn't sound like someone from another country is talking on your behalf. That's important. But very much you want to put it in there. And being wordy is good. Like, as long as they're good words, wordy is good. It's encouraging that kind of behavior in your posts. So you want to talk about either your community, your team, your products, your add-on services, your delivery, shipping, returns. You can make a post that will you could almost use almost the same footage and recycle it over, with some space in between, but you can tell a different story as long as you use keywords. So if I'm going to search high fashion, near me, small business, support small business, right? Everyone who's told that story, that's going to come up. Now, it will come up if you've got a hashtag, but it's not going to give you reach. It'll just be in the millions that pop up for you to scroll through. So you're not getting reach, which is really important, because the more reach you get, meaning the further your post goes out, more people that see it, you get rewarded from Instagram, particularly Meta, I think in general, so Facebook and Instagram, you're really rewarded for that. And there's some interesting new tools where a business account will now get a little pop up in your notifications to say, congratulations, this post's doing great. You did everything we asked you to do. We've now sent it to 2,000 more people who are not your followers. So so you can see why it's really important to put a little time in, set some key messages and some key wording you want to put in every single time, and make it flow. Just a flowy conversation. 1 or 2 paragraphs is great. You definitely don't want to go, oh, hey, Friday vibes with a hashtag, because your post, it will sit there and do nothing. That was great in 2019. It doesn't work anymore. It wants conversation because it wants lots of words, lots of keywords that are just about you. And it takes time to learn how to do that. It's not overnight magic. It takes time to understand that, and then to understand how you can implement that with your business.
So basically, we've got our captions, they've got all the key information in it. Now, I know as someone who hates typing on my phone,
Mm.
I
Yes.
personally have gone to using notes on the computer and then copying
Yes.
information. But from what you were saying there, you can kind of create some paragraphs in notes or wherever you want that you can
Yes.
repurpose time and time again, as long as you've got some original content in that, in the different posts as well. Is that correct?
Correct. So what I've done is I've created multiple pillars. So they would be around community, freshness of food for this particular client I'm thinking of, um, in-house chefs, making life easy with take-home meals, the local community, because the local community is a very high-end demographic. And yeah, so I definitely have that in notes. I have perfected it. I've spent months and months getting it right where I'm really happy. And I did offer it to AI and said, can you tweak this so that I will get these results? And have had it set up a little bit. Then each of them I have saved in my notes. I actually learned that from you. So I've saved it in my notes. So I can be on the computer scheduling through a scheduling app. I can be on the phone, but you can access your notes anytime. You can have a thought, or you can see something as you're scrolling, another business and go, oh, wow, I like that hook. That's great. Go in, you can put it in and save that thought. So definitely it's easy. You don't need spreadsheets if you don't want to. It can be so simple for time poor business owners, for sure.
And I think that just in creating some continuity, so in the post itself, so that, in the caption itself, like we were saying, you've got some information that's there. And even if you kind of know that Mondays you just do a walk through your store of what's new, on a Wednesday
Yep,
you share what's your favorite items, or you have 3 or 4 things that you do regularly, so you don't have to think about it, because people
correct.
get stuck on the what am I going to share.
Yeah, yeah. You can post something you posted last week. You can do that if you like. It's not ideal, but you can do that. It's okay, because all the people who didn't see it last week will see it this week, and there's a customer that you're not talking to. So the stress does not have to be there, and it's just about taking that step off the cliff, off that diving board. It's just doing that once, and then you go, oh wow, I spoke to 3 people online tonight. I just did
And
it, and that's the most important thing.
And as you say, whilst one week may not be ideal, you can do it. But, a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, there's no problem there, because
No,
people aren't going to remember. And if they're going to look in your feed, you can always hide the previous post if you want to in your feed. Not that it matters, because people aren't thinking about your feed as much as you are.
no, they're not scrolling through your feed anymore. Your feed does not have to be perfect. That's probably another good point
Mm.
in the basic changes. Your feed, don't don't bother making it perfect and 3, 2, 1. Don't do it. No one is looking for that. People are a little turned off by the super curated. It depends on the business, right?
Yeah.
But the super curate, like interior design, it still needs to be quite curated. But most businesses know, they just want to see a different product in your range there. And the beauty is, like you were saying, you don't even need to hide it. You can just change the cover now. And you can actually go in and edit and put a new cover up to change it in the feed. So, yeah, there's so many great new features on Instagram at the moment. It's a great time to just learn something new.
And I must say, I've changed the look of my covers many times as I've sort of gone, what's it going to
Yeah,
look like, and changed them. And having spoken to you
yeah.
last week where you said the covers don't matter, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing any covers this week. I'll take that off the to
Right.
do list. And so a few of
Yeah,
them I have where it's sort of following group of
like a theme of
posts,
some
but
sort.
otherwise,
Yeah.
no.
And so now, Nicole, you're like, great, there was one less thing I had to worry about. And I did it, and there's no stress, and it's probably not made any difference at all to your analytics. It's probably too soon to really see that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so tell us what else is going on, what the new rules of Instagram and the sort of things that we
Oh
should be
boy.
maybe looking to do differently.
So the most important thing is perfection is out. Don't worry, perfection, it's gone. Be yourself. Perfect is out for sure. Music in reels. Reels are great. You want to try and do reels for sure. Reels travel. Reels will find new customers and bring them in. Posts and stories, just I'm digressing a little, but posts and stories go to your existing customer base. So if you've got 200 followers, they're the only people that are going to see them. You want to promote to them because you've got them. But if you're looking to get more people in, which you should be, reels, 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 definitely. And in saying that, music, you hear people talking about it's got to be trending music. It does not. It does not. There used to be minimal trending music, or you had to have a particular sort of level type of account. You don't have to anymore. There's heaps and heaps of options. You don't have to worry about trending music. It helps. It's not the be all and end all, because at the end of the day, as you said earlier, Nicole, there is no real formula that always works every time. That's not the case. So you and I have discussed this. I like using Edits, which is a new app by Instagram, and it's Instagram's brand new app to create video content like CapCut. It's Instagram's version of CapCut. It's still new, so it doesn't have, bouncy kind of formats, but it's all trending music and soft and gentle to dancing music. It's got everything. And I've been doing a test since it started a month or so ago. And I put every single video I've already made, like a year ago, 6 months ago, I just put that entire video in to the music that I like, and I save it to my device. That's it. And it's really, I'm being really rewarded, like really, really rewarded. Hundreds and hundreds more views than I would normally get. So whenever there's a new feature, Instagram particularly, they reward you for getting on board and trying all of these new things that they're working on. So that's a good way to use trending music. You don't have to use trending music. You can actually use music that goes with the story you're telling or whatever you've filmed. If it's something funny, if you're making a bit of a joke, use something that goes with it. That is a viral recipe more so than trending music.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
and I have always had discussions about the music because I've
I know.
never quite got because I often have my volume down anyway on it. So
True.
as you say, reels tick number one. Stories are great for connecting with your current audience and particularly telling them when there's new things in store and getting those, quick actions and connecting you, because you can have links on there. You can get them onto your website as well, which is fabulous.
Stories is where you go to sell a product. You sell
Yeah.
it to them there. Definitely. There is a new change in stories where if you've got something, say, Sunday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that's the best time to post. Everyone's had dinner and sitting down watching TV, relaxing. So everyone's on their phone. So that might be when you're going to do a bit of a promotion for the coming week, whatever you're promoting, or whatever message you want to get out. You will definitely want to let the story go empty, like let it be empty all day Sunday, no story at all, because you'll just be lost. I'll go your way. You'll
Yeah.
be lost down the track of all the little circles. Whereas then when you're posting, you put your story up before you do your post. I like to, and it's there, and it's getting a bit of traction, and people can link through to the information in the post. But obviously you can put your links to click and purchase or check out the range or whatever your call to action is. Stories are great for that. You don't have to do multiple stories. There was a time, Nicole, we were doing, oh my God, 7 to 10 stories, which was a
And there
thing.
were many
That's
doing
no longer
more.
a thing. No, it's not, yeah, it's no longer a thing. The really big accounts we follow, it is, because people are hungry. They're giant accounts, they have to. But for the rest of us, that's not the case. So keep that in mind. Let the story disappear for a few hours before you put one up again, for sure.
So, what you mean, just to reinforce what you're saying there, is if you've had a
Mm.
story, it normally lasts for 24 hours. So, you basically
Yep.
don't want to, if you're going to post, did you say Saturday night or Sunday night's the biggest? Sunday?
Sunday
Okay,
night,
so
9 o'clock.
so
Yeah,
the last time you're probably going to post would be Saturday morning, and then you do your
correct.
Sunday night, and that way your feed is empty. And so when you open Instagram or someone else opens Instagram, it's going to be one of the first little icons because it's the
Yes.
freshest stories.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's
Okay.
when in your yeah, you'll see that spike in who's online at that time. And you can put something up if you want something to be there during the day. Just delete it. All you
Yeah.
have to do is just go in and delete it an hour beforehand and then put it up. So if you're worried about nothing being there, that's a really great way to do it as well.
Can you schedule stories?
Yes, you can. You
Okay.
can do it. There's a few different ways. You can do it through a scheduling app like Later. I like using
Okay.
Later. It's a paid app. I like it because you can do everything really quickly. It's very visual, so that speaks to me. You can use MetaSuite, and you can schedule
Okay.
everything in Meta there. It's a little clunkier, but I really recommend just doing it live if you can. I really do, because another reward you get, Instagram sees that you are connecting live when your post goes up, and it also rewards you with further reach because it wants
Interesting.
you to be in there. Can I add another one onto this that
Mm.
really works? And it's something to just learn how to do it and stick by the book and do it every single time. Do that mix with the stories to make sure that goes up. But you need to, for any success, you need to go in and chat to people, and you need to be in there live on your phone, ideally half an hour beforehand. You can do it 10 minutes beforehand and after, as much as you can. So I will go in and I will start following new accounts that are associated. I'm not following superstars
Yeah.
for my client. It's it's not going to do. It does nothing. They're not going to buy anything. I don't want their customer base because they're all over the world. I want people local. So I go into the local groups and the local people and see who they're following, and then I'll follow there. Then I'll go into that business. I'll give you an example. I go into a customer who regularly comments, who I know goes into the store for the client, and they always pop a like. They don't maybe say too much. I'll go into their account if it's open,
Mm.
not like a stalker, but to see, who they like. And wow, they comment a lot on Country Road. They like Country Road. So I'll go into Country Road. I'm just using this as an example, of course. And then I'll go in and comment comment on what other people are saying in there. Oh, yeah, I love these too. I wish they had them in my size still, whatever it might be. And then it's got nothing to do with your business, truly, but it creates, that's the community comes together that way, and that's what you're trying to achieve on Instagram. And it's hard doing it at first, understanding it, but again, it's one of those things, you put it in your notes, and that's what you do before and after. You must be there to catch. You must catch every single comment. Nothing. Oh, there's nothing more annoying to me than seeing a good brand that's got, you know, a good formula going, and they post and run. That
Yeah.
you've just lost sales. So yeah, it's really essential to be in there. I know business owners are time poor. Do it once to one. You just need to do it once.
And I think you're right. If business owners are time poor, which 99% of
Yeah,
them are, then you
yeah,
can still prioritize different aspects, or you might decide that if socials are something that you think you can really leverage for your business, that's where it's
mm,
worth investing in someone, whether it's an external source or an internal person to help out.
yeah,
You might have a
yeah.
staff member who is happy to actually be involved in that as
Mm.
part of their role, even doing it outside of hours. But
It's a great way to sort of, you know, promote someone. You have a promotional sort of reward for like a staff member who really gets it. It's a great way to do it and give them that extra responsibility
and the other thing though
without
that
having
we
to get a company in to do it for you.
yeah, and the other thing we've
Mm.
spoken about just on though outside of hours, I really want to make it
Oh,
clear that there is no problem stating that you are not answering messages outside of hours. This is
correct.
not your life. This is part of your business. So if you don't want to be there outside of hours, leave it
Yep.
alone. Just ignore it
A
and come back to
hundred.
them the next day. And there might be one or two people who get a bit upset about it. Who cares? They're not your customer anyway. They're not, or
Usually
not
they're
your
not.
ideal customer.
Yep. Because your ideal customer wants to create a relationship with you,
Yep.
right? But so that's great. And you and I experienced that when your accounts just went so big and it was a worldwide audience. Um, so the ideal thing is to set a reply. Hey, thank you so much. We'll be back on deck at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'd be happy to help you then. You know,
Yep.
or here's a link to our website. Here's a link to our T's and C's. You know, whatever it is you need, put that in your little reply, and they'll get an automated reply. And it's friendly and personable, which is ideal instead of these are our business hours. You don't want
Yep.
to be that regimented. And 99% of the people will think, oh God, yes, sorry, I got a bit carried away, you know, excited by the product. Yep, as long as you get back to them, you just got to get in and reply straight away.
Absolutely. Um,
Mm,
Now, I love all of this. So I'm just going to restate that we've got no longer needs to be perfect, neither the post nor the feed itself.
yep,
Music is nice to have, trending music, but not essential. Long captions are essential if we want to get some traction and have the SEO. Make sure we consider the SEO and what our message is and who our audience is, and make sure that that caption relates to them. I want to
yep,
add one other thing there to that.
yes,
I want to see people in my post, and I'm always rabbiting on about the fact that small
yep,
businesses need to connect. And I know that my regulars hear me say this, and I know some of you are rolling your eyes because it's daunting,
yeah,
and I totally, totally get it. But even if it's just in photos, even if it's your team, even
yes.
if you will not be in it, a team
Your
member who
hands
might,
holding
your
something.
hands, your voice, if you can do your voice, great. Make
Mm,
the message, even if you're in the background of, or you've got the picture of the first time you started setting up your store, but you tell your story of who you are and how it
yes,
happened in the caption, so people connect with you. People connect with people, and people buy
100%.
from people. And that's where
Yeah,
small businesses have the upper hand over big companies.
yeah. If I have a client who does not want to put their face on socials, it's been many years, and I was allowed recently to do it, and it was like fivefold success. So I was right. I love it when I'm right. Don't we love that?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, I know another little business that's the same, and for a long time she
Yeah,
didn't want to, and now she's doing regular little feeds on a
yeah.
Wednesday, and she's got a great style, and it's her,
There you
and
go.
it's whimsical, and her customers love it, and I know when I've spoken to her, she's like, oh yeah, people are coming, like she is getting that
Yeah. Well,
traction.
it works. It works. A couple of great things for your listeners who are just not quite there yet is film B-roll. So let's say you've got a boutique, set up a tripod, put your phone on, press play, time lapse, and have it there for hours. Then you can play that. You can cut that up into different sections to use for multiple types of posts. Put that up as a reel, slightly darken it. This is weird. This is a weird one, but there is real science behind this. Slightly darken the image a little bit. So people have to kind of, it makes them stop and look. This is interesting psyche around it. And you can just put the words, just let the words use the typewriter font when you're going, setting it live, and put the words. I really wanted to share this great day. I love Mondays. I love to come in, get a good coffee. The sun comes in right here, blah, 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 blah. So they're connecting with you because they know you're telling them a story from your heart about why you love your business, and that makes them want to love your business too. Hold a product, put your hand in, try and in your feed, maybe every third or fourth photo, although we're not curating it, have a hand holding something, just a little bit of a hand. There's a human element, there's a person behind this. I would love to tell a brief story, Nicole, about you. And I watched when lockdowns, I know now you're in trouble. Don't worry, we made a pinky promise about those stories. When lockdowns hit us here in Melbourne, and Nicole had this beautiful, beautiful, successful store people travelled from interstate to come to, and everything had to go online. And I was so encouraged and proud of you. You were nervous and you didn't want to show your face, and what am I going to wear, and my hair's frizzy today, and you had all the normal thought processes, but you just did it. You just went on and you went, I have to, I have a business and we've got all this product, we need to sell it. And the community online was so much bigger, became so much bigger than the community in the store, and sales were great. It worked because you just did it. You just did it. And it takes a while and there's no one watching for a while. Just hang in there. Whatever day you want to do the same thing for 2 months on that same day and watch it happen.
When you were talking about the sharing, kind of B-roll where you're in it, but you're in the background, and you're talking about, this is my Monday vibe or whatever. That's another one you can say, and my music for today is. So that's a way of putting your personality in with the music, not
Correct.
making it trending, but have the music that's actually your vibe. And if you're
Correct.
someone who sells to women in their 50s, you might be having 80s music that's regularly
Yep.
playing on your feed.
Yep, that's right. I have a client whose demographic is 35 to 55, mainly women, who really like fashion, like high fashion. So I've been putting Fleetwood Mac and all the bangers. Think about the bangers when you're in the car and you go, oh my God, I loved this. Make a note in your notes on your phone in that same section. Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yep.
It works.
I'm going to do a post. That's just reminded me. I'm actually going to do a post about, some of the things and put one of my favourite pieces of music.
There
I
you
love
go.
that. Now that when you were talking about that story, and I just want to share I know it was a different time. We don't really want to dwell on it with the whole lockdowns and so forth.
No.
But one of those posts, I actually did a Facebook Live, and I want to talk about Facebook Live with you in a moment. But I did a Facebook Live, and this was at the beginning when we were all terrified. We really didn't know what was happening. We didn't know what was happening from our businesses. We had no government support at that stage. We were scared. Everyone was scared. And I was actually ended up bawling through this Facebook Live.
I recall.
Yeah, but I chose not. So everyone who's there, I continued to do it, but I didn't share it afterwards because it was it was for the then. So if you do something like a live, if you get to that point when you've gone through all the tippy toes of getting out there, you don't have to share it on your feeds if you're not happy with what you've done. All right. So that's just something else to remember. Nothing's permanent. Everything you do here, you can delete
You can
if
just
you want
delete.
to.
Hello, we've had the experience of something quite horrific. I made a mistake. Little Miss Perfect made a mistake, a terrible mistake by assuming something. And a customer, we don't need to tell the story, a customer reached to Nicole and said, Nicole, I do think that you might want to look at the post that's just gone up. Delete. It's nothing's forever. It's okay.
I will
We
tell the
did
story because
okay.
you've told half of it, but I was recording in the room with no stock here, and I'm being all happy and everything for the recording, and then my husband walks in the room just as I'd done something, and I'm sorry, I have sworn a few times in this. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? And the customer wrote and said, Nicole doesn't seem too happy about the 51-second mark.
And I had
Anyway,
assumed
we deleted.
you'd sent the edited photo, the edited video. You'd saved that for me. I should have checked it. So, yeah, that will never happen again.
All right, so we'll go and move on from that. I want to talk. We've gone for quite a while, so quickly. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. What are your
Yep.
thoughts on those?
I'm going to thinking of, we're considering business owners, small business owners who are time poor. I think that's, the person we're trying to help here. So I don't think you need to worry about doing it if you're not doing it. If you can, do it, because Nicole, you proved it works. It works. But this is something you can have a staff member doing with you, for example. Um, I do believe that Facebook are no longer saving the lives, so you have to go and save it yourself. So here's a quick tip: anyone who has got Facebook Lives, you like this weekend, go and save them. Go and save them all because they will be gone. So that's why I think, the short video, you can talk to a video like a live and constantly post that. I actually do think that's, at the moment, a really good way to do it.
The one advantage,
Face,
if I might say, the on
yeah,
Instagram is you can't do more than a 3-minute video, or couldn't
no,
last time I looked. So I actually didn't realize
correct.
that was the case. Whereas if you do a live and then share it, it can be longer. So if you've got a demo
Correct.
that you want to show or products, multiple products that you want to share, it is one
Yeah.
way of having longer content out there. And I do think some people are getting traction from that longer content as well.
Yes. Yes. And, use it to go through a particular range or a series in detail. Go through it in detail and talk to you did this very successfully, is talk to the customer or the follower who's watching and say, ask me any questions, I'm here. It's, yeah, you can ask, and it's a great opportunity to ask them for your business as well.
Yeah.
Like to reach out and say,
Yeah.
so definitely live works really, really well. There is a new change with Facebook that's just come out in the last 2 weeks. And that is, you can no longer put a link in the actual post, like where
Ah,
your copy is. No longer put the link there. It's
wow.
not rewarding you, but you put it in the first comment.
Okay.
So definitely do not use hashtags at all on Facebook. Again, only if it's like very event specific, something like that. But you can definitely put it into the first comment, and then people have got a link. And you'll see that news channels, you'll see it in the first comment at the moment. So,
Okay. Facebook groups for businesses.
uh, yeah. So I spend more time in the Facebook groups than I do on the Facebook pages. That is where your customers are. And so there's a couple of groups. I have some I'm in as me personally, because you can't go in as a business. And even though I'm not the face of the business, but there's no one in the business actually going in there, so I have to. And then others I am in there as the business. And there's different rules. You must understand the rules. Some can only talk about a business on a Monday or a Wednesday. Some won't allow links. Some you have to, your shop or your business has to be in that postcode. Some you have to put the postcode up first. So do understand I have a spreadsheet I've made for myself to make it nice and easy to quickly refer to. And wow, that's where the conversations happen. So a food client with multiple catering businesses, every day I am referring them when people go, oh, I need someone for that. I've got a party. I want to do a dinner at home. Constant, constant, constant. And gosh, he'll say, what are you doing? My phone hasn't stopped ringing all day. So that's your local community. So they are physically located where you are. That's where it is. And can I just add what's also important if you do going in as your business, you want to go in as a great member of the community as well. So I'm always recommending other businesses, a tutoring company, a photographer. I go in myself and ask questions that I don't have to ask, but I come up with ones that are going to get a bit of content, a bit of chatter, not controversial in any way,
Yeah.
no personal beliefs, none of that stuff. And so people, they see me in there. I don't mean to sound like an idiot saying that, but that's this person's a trustworthy person, and that's the business they're connected with. Definitely, groups is heaven for finding a client base
And that's to
and a
find
community.
them. Would it be worth also, is there still room, do you think, to run groups yourself, or there's too many groups already?
There's a lot of groups, but definitely, people tend to go and find groups that are uh, they're huge. They've got huge numbers, and they're from all over the world. So why waste the time on someone who's not going to purchase from you, unless you are, shipping product worldwide, of course.
Yeah.
So I definitely do. It's more work. It's work, and there's a lot of scammers. It's scam central. So you have to have very, very strict guidelines, and you have to go, you know what? You just joined Facebook. You didn't agree. Have a quick look, and you're selling lots of things. I'm just going to delete and block. Too bad. You're iffy. You're not coming in. That's how I look at it. And with your group, that's how I got rid of all the spam that was, crazy spam going on. So that was a big group, of course. So I do think so. There's a online fashion boutique that I love to buy from, and they've got a great online community, and they've got a group. So it's like a buy, swap, and sell for that brand only. Like Country Road, for example, they've got one as well. Very strict guidelines. I think that's okay for a business. I know you want people coming in and buying, paying full retail and buying new stock. You would definitely have a better view on this than I do, of course, Nicole. But as the consumer, I think it's great because I also want to buy 3 new jumpers.
Absolutely.
And I've got enough. I've just got this thing coming up. I don't really want to go spend $200 on a jumper. So, the groups are fantastic for that.
I think there's
And
real
then
value
that's
in
your
that.
community.
Yep.
Yeah, and that, if it's product brand based, then you're in there chatting to them. Hey, did you know this, or this goes with this? Put a little style session together in there. Give them add-on value. Then they're going to stay. They're going to remain your customer when they want to buy something specific. Just don't be super salesy in there. That's not the place to do that.
So Facebook groups, just to summarize, are really, there's benefits to them. It's really at that when you at the end of the what am I looking at? The spectrum of things you can do within the social space. This is where you've got someone who's working for you, with you.
Correct.
If you're trying to run every other aspect of the business and do that, you're really going to add a lot of work because of the admin responsibilities. But there are benefits if you are at that stage of your business where you can have someone who has that as part of their social media role.
100%. If it's overwhelming, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're comparing yourself to, your opposition or other businesses that, they're doing it online and you're not, don't take that stress you do not want. You can't run your business and, be a family member and run your household and all the other things that you're doing as well. You can't do that when you're stressed about, what music am I going to put on and I can't
Yeah.
get back to these people on time. No, definitely. And I think if you've got the opportunity to have someone in your staff that you can elevate their role a little bit, value, ideally someone valuable that you don't ever want to lose, that's a great way to give someone younger, someone who's happy to put their face in front, a team. I've had one client who has like a social media team and everyone from each of the departments, had their role
Yeah.
in doing that. That's a great way to do it. You can have someone, Nicole or myself, to come in and go, this is what you need to do, to give you a quick lesson, help you, guide you. This is what you need to do. This is the formula. You can get that information, then use that yourself or with your team. I highly recommend that first, to be honest. Or if it's overwhelming, you can have someone helping you run things behind the scenes for a short amount of time, for a few months, if
Yeah.
you just need that because the busy period's coming up and I'm buying and I've got sales and I've got, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's like they're a click away. Oh gosh, I've got to add another new thing that's really great for that particular purpose is you no longer have to share your meta passwords with anybody, which has been
Ah,
such a fear. Many businesses,
yeah.
just last week, this one came out. Boy, there's so much to keep on top of, I tell you. So you no longer have to share that information. And so many businesses who are not super tech savvy, who are the people who really need that extra help,
Mm.
so frightened of doing it. I don't want to share my passwords. It's
Yep.
too scary. Understandably so. So now you can just share the admin role to that person's Facebook, personal Facebook, and then that gets them into the Meta Suite, which is Instagram and Facebook and stories and
Wow.
lives and all of that stuff. It's a long time coming.
Oh my
It's
God. That
brilliant.
is, it's crazy that it's taken them so
Yeah,
long. Okay,
yeah.
last question. Broadcast channel on Instagram. Is there anything going on with that? Is it anything that we should be thinking about? Because I can't quite work it out.
Personally, I don't even. I can't fit it in.
Oh,
So
and
they're not
threads.
paying me to do all those extra things. Threads I don't
Mm,
use because I just don't have time to
yeah.
delve in. I have to go into my socials to get to my clients, and the amount of times my ADHD brain has gone, oh, that looks pretty, and I'm scrolling, and I've bought something because they know how to find you. Ads work, and then I go,
Yep.
hang on, I was
Yep.
doing something else. Menopause, forgot. So look, Threads is good. Um, Threads is good if you're a Twitter kind of person, or X, I should say, or LinkedIn, if that's where your people are, I think threads are good for that, for just the comments and the conversation. But if it's about a product or a service, definitely, it's personal. I know you don't, because it's just how long's a piece of string? How much time have you got? And what else could you be doing to earn money instead of just randomly scrolling to wait for something that catches your eye to come in front of you?
Well, broadcast channel's one way, isn't it?
Honestly,
So that your customers can't
yeah.
make comments on that, can they? Which is
No, I
crazy.
don't think so. I honestly don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
That's how much I personally
Yeah.
and professionally, I don't. It doesn't
Yeah.
work for me
And
and my clients and what I do. But if it
okay.
is, if you feel someone's told you that how it works for them, ask questions and give it a try. Find some
Oh,
time. Give a teenager the job to go and find out more.
and there's it's not in Australia as far as I know. I haven't checked recently. TikTok um selling where you can sell directly on TikTok. Last time I looked wasn't in Australia, but that will be something that will come on Instagram. I would imagine
Yep,
sooner than later, and that would be something I would highly recommend retailers look out
absolutely.
for once becomes available.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do see with so many changes to Instagram so regularly, so quickly, it is just like multiple a week at the moment,
Mm,
little changes and big changes. I can see that they've maybe lagged behind a little bit as TikTok in particular has,
mm,
driven forward. with CapCut and TikTok. And so it seems that they are now really stepping up, which is great, which is fantastic, because Instagram is our favourite, medium, of course. So yeah, most definitely. I just want to stress to the small business owner who finds this all overwhelming social media. I don't know. You don't have to know. Just get in there and do it. But it's essentially free. It's a free device
Yeah.
to get customers and bring them in the door. It is free. Paid ads is, I do believe paid ads are worth it. You don't go viral. You don't, it just doesn't happen organically. It's much harder. So I do very much recommend, having short stints of that. Nicole is a genius at this, so you really know what you're doing with that. I think it's you cannot succeed with your business without social media. Truly, you can't, because that's where they all are. Your customers are there. There has to be a level of investment of time or money, whichever one is better for you. You have to. You just have to. It's no longer an option to go, oh, I don't know where my passwords are saved, or no longer acceptable.
And if you are getting someone to help you, so someone like Catherine or myself or whoever you're getting, and as I said, if you want to speak to Catherine, just DM me through all of the connections I'll have on here and I'll get the message through. But you want someone like us who have come from small business. Because I
Yeah.
tell you, I'm sorry, agencies, very few of them that I know
Yeah.
of, really understand how to
No.
connect. Whereas if you've got people who are used to working with small businesses and sharing their content and so forth and creating the content for you, I believe it's going to feel for your customer more like you than
Yeah.
something that comes out that looks beautifully polished from an agency that has no personality.
No. And look, people who are running social media, us in general as well, burnout is a real thing.
Mm.
It's very stressful having to be on all the time. So staff burnout, especially the younger demographic, which is often who are in big agencies. Honestly, I have a family member who's just been through this process of burnout at 24, because it's so demanding, but they don't have that life experience. And I've got to say, hats off to you and me together. When we worked together, we stumbled and fumbled and quickly worked it out, and encouraged each other and really challenged each other to try and find that this is not working, find a better way that doesn't cost as much. Like we did that. We walked the walk, and I do believe that's why I particularly work in areas, niches that I have 30 years experience in overall. You've got experience in those areas. And yeah, 100%. So many people are paying, essentially the same amount of money, maybe a little less, for someone who is in another country. That's okay if that, to get a VA from another country, that's good. But
You need someone here who gets the
it's
audience.
not, I've got to say, it's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah. All right, we won't go
Definitely.
on anymore, but just be aware of
No,
that, because I was just talking to one of my other guests and she was quoted $2,000 for a month for someone who was an agency that wasn't going to
no,
produce, and she had
that's
someone who turned up
ridiculous.
and gave her
No,
great prices and great service straight on the spot. And it's like, okay,
yep,
that's what you want to look for. Who gets the audience.
100%. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right, we have gone well over time. This is a
Of course,
huge topic. There's so much here. And Catherine, I
we've
know
only,
I can get you back in the future as
yeah,
things change again. So if we have any
let's
big
do AI.
changes with Instagram,
Let's tell people how to use AI and not be scared of that.
yes, even us old ducks have been using
Yeah,
it and doing all right. And really, for me, it's made a massive difference to what I'm able to produce, and I know for you, for your clients as well, it's
oh,
making a huge
been
difference. So
great.
we'll look at that and see if we can get that down to an hour, because what a
Yeah, oh
topic that
no.
is, and how people can use it for their retail business. Thank you, Catherine, for being fabulous, a great friend, a great support,
No,
and being part of my life now for what is it, 6 years, 6, 7
I've
years.
lost
So,
track because it's
yep,
been too much fun.
yes, no, it's been awesome. To everyone else who's watching,
Having
thank you
been
so much for joining us today. The contact details are in the show notes. If you check out the socials, you'll be able to connect with me, and then I'll get you in touch with Catherine if you've got any questions. I know she'll be very happy to help you.
happy, happy.
Everyone, have a sensational day, and I'll be back with you soon. Cheers. Bye.